Like I've kind of already mentioned, debate is all about the tournaments. There's fame, there's glory, there's bragging rights, there's big parties afterward. We work really hard in debate, but the tournaments really are what make it worth it. If we didn't have tournaments, I wouldn't teach this class because that's the most motivating piece. So, let's see if my clicker will work. The first thing I think is a little video from the NSDA, which talks about people who now are kind of in a position of power but started out as a brand new debater just like you.
What is speech and debate?
Speech and debate has really transformed me and given me a voice, and I know that having a voice leads to change and action.
I've had fun, I've cried, I've learned, I've laughed, I've had just incredible time in my 6 years of being in this program. I was able to make everlasting friends that I know people for a long time.
Speech and debate is where voices come to
Focus,
life.
guys.
Continuing to move forward while being uncomfortable, that is not weakness. That is the epitome of courage.
Where friendships are born. Where memories are made.
We're the only ones promoting government accountability. We are very proud to affirm. Thank you all.
Where dreams come true. Where kids take that next step to their future.
Oh,
Who will be the next movie star?
Brad Pitt was a debater.
Rock star. TV star.
Everybody wants to fulfill the highest, truest expression of yourself.
World leader.
Expect to use in a number that understood.
President.
That we shall never negotiate out of fear, and we shall never fear to negotiate.
Okay, now, you should have your notes on the screen because the next answer is going to be from this next little piece. So the notes say, out of the list, who was the most intriguing, like the most interesting former debater. So Nico, you should have the notes on your screen right now. So the Speech and Debate Association, they started doing this a couple of years ago. They have been keeping track of all the famous people who used to be debaters. They even have them organized by type, like are they big in the tech world or are they big in the sports world? I have all the entertainment people, but there's government, there's authors, there's filmmakers. So I'm just going to scroll through this list really quick. When you find one person where you're like, what? I didn't know that person was a debater, write their name down. Some of these people you'll recognize, like this is one of my favorite people from The Office. Black Panther was a debater. Zac Efron was a debater. Here's Josh Gad. We all know Josh Gad because we watched him for Oratory. They update this list all the time, and I was looking at it on Friday when I was planning today's lesson, and there was one that I was like, what? I didn't know she was a debater, because they're always adding to it. Oh, it was Sadie Sinks from Stranger Things. I didn't know that she was a debater, and that one, like, shocked me. I thought that was so cool. So, pick one of those names, write it down. I think it's cool, like, he's in Wicked, right? He's also SNL, Bowen Yang, or Oprah, you could write down. But it's just kind of cool to realize all of them started out knowing nothing. All of them started out in a debate class like you and figured it out, and I think it's pretty cool. So, one of the biggest reasons why we do debate is kind of connected to, what if I, like, was big into soccer? What if I was really big into, like, cheerleading? And I went to practice every week, all the time, and then I never went to the actual game. Like, what's the point, right? And it's the same thing in debate. I love killing myself off in practice, only never to go to the game, said no one ever. One of the other reasons I really love debate tournaments is because I think it's unfair that students your age get treated like you're an idiot just because you're young. I think that's really not okay. And so debate is one of those times where that doesn't happen to you. We're going to take what you have to say seriously, and you actually get a chance to be heard, and I think that's pretty cool. Also, one cool thing about debate is that it's, even though it's really hard and it is a challenge, it's also really fun. Like, when we're on the bus going to the tournament, that's basically one giant party. There's also going to be some wait time. You're not debating every single second while you're at the tournament. So on those in-between parts, these are some of my old former debaters. They're now all graduated from college. But you make lifelong friends because of debate, which is pretty cool. This one.
It's either all crazy or you're dead on the floor.
So this was after a tournament that was at Albion, probably 5 years ago, because they're seniors in high school now. And I love that it shows this perfect, like, highs and lows. You're either really pumped or you're so tired, but tired in a good way. We'll watch it one more time because I think it's so funny.
Tournament. It's either all
Dead on the
crazy
floor.
or you're dead on the floor.
There's so much energy because the amount of like sugar and soda and stuff is just funny. Okay, next thing. I think that for some kids, knowing that they might get an awesome trophy is really motivating. For me, I was the kind of kid in school where the teacher was like, here's a smiley face sticker. I would try so hard just for a sticker, right? Let alone a trophy. So, I have to tell you the story of what's called the Sweepstakes Award. So this only happens at the April 30th tournament. This does not happen at your first tournament. Not all of you will come to the April 30th tournament, but the April 30th tournament is the biggest one for our district because it's the final district tournament of the year. That our district runs 4 tournaments, and there's already been 2 that happened in first semester, and there's going to be another 2 in second semester. There are other schools that have full year debate. So for a lot of other kids, this is their 4th tournament in the whole year. So it's kind of like the final one. So this is a team trophy. And the team trophy is really, really, really exciting because it means you're the best team in the whole district. We have won 3 times. It really, I'm going to be super honest with you, is a numbers game. Usually whoever has the biggest team has the best chance. We have an insanely good chance this year because the way they scheduled debate this year, I have 2 debate classes this semester. Usually I only have 1. And so Eastmont has won for the past 4 years because they had more debaters in second semester than we did. But this year, it might happen. It's really fun because if your team gets announced as the winner, y'all get to run up on the stage and lose your minds. And it's just so much hype and so much fun. And then here's the story that goes along with this team trophy. So way back when I first started coaching debate, there was, our rival back then, 14 years ago, was Mount Jordan. And there was this coach, he was the guy who threw chairs. He was my real life friend. His name was Mr. Simmons. And when he and I were in college, we both were in the University of Utah together. And randomly, we had both signed up to go on our study abroad together where we took college classes in London. And then we graduated college and we got a real job. And lo and behold, we both ended up not only teaching in the same district, but also became debate coaches in the same district, and then became debate coach rivals in the same district. So that was pretty fun. And back then, Albion and Mount Jordan, it was this back and forth. One year he would do better, one year we would do better. But for the first couple of years, 3 years in a row, they won this team trophy. And I am way too competitive. And I was so determined to beat him. Because not only is it fun when you have good rivals, but also we were real life friends. So there was a lot of friendly trash talk going on. And the year we finally won for the first time, I had this crazy dream. I don't know why my brain came up with this, but this is a true story. And this has kind of gone down in debate legend. That I dreamed that Albion won the team trophy. We all ran up on the stage and were screaming and crying, and it was so much fun, just like you see in this picture. It's a really big deal. And then I don't know why my brain came up with this because I am not a violent person, you guys. But in the dream, I took the giant trophy and started beating Mr. Simmons with the giant trophy. And then I woke up from that dream and I thought, what is wrong with me that my brain... But because Mr. Simmons was my real life friend, I told him about that dream, and then, I didn't think of this, but he totally told his entire team, and then they used it as motivation of at Mount Jordan, he would say, are you guys gonna let Albion win that team trophy, and she's gonna beat me with it? And they were like, no! And then I started using it Albion. Guys, are you gonna win the team trophy, and I'm gonna beat Mr. Simmons? And they were like, yeah! And so when we won, it was so much fun. This happened, and it was crazy, and then Mr. Simmons, because he's my real life friend and a very nice person, he's not a debate coach anymore, but he laid down on the stage in front of everyone and let me pretend to beat him with the giant trophy. And so it is extremely fun. If we do win this year, I will probably lose my mind and cry because I am so sick of Eastmont beating us. We have deserved it. We typically do better than them in everything but oratory. And I'm sick of them winning it just because of oratory. So this is going to be our year, you guys. Oh, Eastmont. Okay. So this is the next answer on your notes. I think it says like who's your toughest oh no, it's number 3. So toughest competitor. It's by far Eastmont, and that's because they have 2 coaches doing the job of 1. I think I've already mentioned that to you. In real life, these guys are my actual, literal friends. We've worked together for so many years. We have so many meetings together. I legitimately like them, but they feel the same way about me. We're actual friends, but we want to destroy each other's teams. And so it's really fun, and it's this just weird tradition. So Eastmont is by far our toughest competition. These are in order of who I think our toughest competition is. Draper Park has a new coach this year. They are fierce. They won first place in Lincoln Douglas last tournament, and it was a really big deal. So even though they're very new, they are extremely fierce. They're a tiny team. They only have like 15 kids on their whole team, but they're awesome. So be prepared for some good opponents. Then I think Butler is the next most difficult opponent. Miss Wilcox has now been a coach for a while. I trained her, I taught her everything she knows, and she has a huge team. They're doing better and better and better every year. So watch out for the Butler kids. Mount Jordan also has a new coach this year, and same thing. I usually train all the new coaches because I've been around the longest. Her name is Miss Long, and she's so nice, and they are really starting to improve. So you gotta watch out for them as well. But the good news about all of these good opponents is it makes us improve. I would say Indian Hills has kind of had ups and downs. Poor Mr. Pulsifer, he just has lots of little kids. He has a baby that was just born last year. He has like a 2-year-old, a 3-year-old. So he's just really overwhelmed in life. And so sometimes when he's busy in real life, his team doesn't do quite as well. It just depends. But they definitely have a big team. So we already know that tournaments are an assessment, and it's my job to make sure you're all ready to get those assessment points, and that's what we're going to be doing. So another thing I kind of just want to point out is you're going to be nervous. Like, that's just real talk. But at the same time, I'm going to have all of you take this same survey after the first tournament. And the question said, in general, do you feel like the way Mrs. Coates had you prepare for the tournament forced you to actually be ready? And this was an anonymous survey, but 100% of the kids who took that survey last semester said, yeah, the way you helped us get ready actually forced me to be ready. So that's true to help your nerves just a little bit. This is just a funny story. So you do not have to dress up. Those kids really wanted to stand out, and that was their choice. But back in 2017, this kid named Blake Novak.
What?
Yeah, do you know Blake Novak?
Yeah, I think he goes,
He's much older at this point. Yeah. So Blake, we were talking about, do you have to dress up for the tournament? Which the answer is technically no, but most kids choose to. But Blake raised his hand and said, do I have to wear pants? And I said, Blake, what kind of a question? Of course you have to wear pants to school. And it turned out he had a bet with his friends where he had been wearing shorts for almost 3 full years, all through winter. And so he was very worried he was going to lose the bet. But no, you don't have to dress a certain way. It's just playing the game of trying to intimidate your opponent, right? Pink suit guy, they were famous. Everyone, remember, you can. It's just you might not. It is intimidating when you show up and your opponent is dressed up. He was famous. Everyone was afraid because he was first place policy all the time. And when he walked into a debate and the opponent saw, oh no, it's the pink suit kid, immediately they were like, I'm going to lose. And it was terrifying. Yeah.
I feel like it'd be more intimidating if you saw somebody wearing pajamas. You're that confident?
I mean, you play the game however you want. I'm just saying from 14 years of experience. Hold on, guys.